So guys, I've been out there saying, obviously, that in the new bill Republicans offered after our little babies were massacred at Robb Elementary and the racist shooting in Buffalo and so many other shootings on South Street in Philadelphia, a place I used to spend time in school, that closing the dating loophole, which would stop certain domestic violence abusers from getting guns, and having an anti-gun trafficking law would be great. But the real tell with Republicans, and we should vote for this bill and support it, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot more, obviously. It's like 8% of a 100% package we need. They won't support universal background checks, and past that, they won't support an assault weapons ban and a magazine limit, which, by the way, the Rhode Island State House and Senate, I think, is working on right now and will get passed. And again, Rhode Island's not a huge state, but every place matters. Every life matters, and therefore, the more you pass, the better. So we should support this bill. But I've said from the beginning, the thing about the Republicans is, and the thing about the NRA is, they know that there is an illegal gun market that is very profitable, and that is who the NRA is protecting. There's no other reason not to have universal background checks except for, some guns fell off the back of a truck and some guy is selling them somewhere where he doesn't have to do a background check because he's not a federally licensed dealer. The money flows, and that's some of who they're representing. Now, the anti-gun trafficking law would help with that. It means if somebody's on a banned list, like if I'm on a banned list, you can't go in and buy a gun and then resell it to me. So that would stop some of it. But sometimes what they do helps us understand more than what they say. And a guy I really like, Steve Dettelbach here in Ohio, who ran for Attorney General, and we'd be in much better shape if he'd won, was nominated to be the next ATF nominee, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, that fun group of collection of things that kill people. And if we would support the ATF, because the Republicans have spent the last 20 to 30 years purposely undermining their mission, not allowing them to use computers, and I'm not kidding you. They had to go through old files that were written by hand. They wouldn't allow them to pass a law where they would hold people responsible for inventory so they could check on guns that were stolen or disappeared. In other words, if you really want to stop illegal guns from getting out there are a lot of ways to do it. Having a strong ATF director who's given the funding, the support, not undercut, attacked, would be one of those ways. And that's how Republicans still, and again, don't get me wrong, vote for the bill they've offered. It will save lives. Any lives saved are good, but do not give them credit for trying to save the lives of our babies. Do not vote for their bill and go out the next day and remind people they're doing everything in their power to still make sure people get guns who are murderers and criminals and terrorists and domestic abusers and drug cartel members, and you name it, because if they wanted to stop a lot of this, they would support Steve Dettelbach right away. Steve Dettelbach will end up getting the position at the ATF, but he won't because of Republicans. There's obviously this bipartisan effort on the other legislation we talked about, but every Republican on the Judiciary Committee voted against advancing Joe Biden's nominee, Steve Dettelbach. The committee vote was an 11-11 tie. Republicans who voted no, Chuck Grassley, the guy who thought he was going to count electoral votes because he thought maybe Mike Pence would be hanged. We don't know that for a fact, but I'm not sure what he's talking about in that tweet, why he wouldn't think Mike Pence would be there like every other vice president had been. Lindsey Graham, who we know is basically a leech attached to Donald Trump. John Cornyn, Mike Lee, who is heavily involved in the sedition and insurrection and hopefully will end up in prison, and hopefully Evan McMullin, independent, will beat him in Utah for a Senate seat. Ted Cruz needs no introduction, lowest form of pawn scum. Ben Sass, he gets sad and pretends he cares about the Republic, votes for Trump's impeachment, then does this. Josh Hawley, violent seditionist insurrectionist. Tom Cotton wants to basically firebomb cities, turn certain places into Dresden again. John Kennedy, who went and joined with Vladimir Putin's pals on the 4th of July. Marsha Blackburn, who is like just a big bag of hair, and an home ec major who I'm not sure understands anything going on. And Tom Tillis, who wants to brag about the fact that he didn't wash his hands after he went to the bathroom. There's your key crew. I don't really understand why they would block Dettelbach. There is no justification unless you want more guns to end up in more dangerous people's hands and you want more people to die. Get them to defend that.